One, two, one, two. One, one.
This is the time we come together to keep our country safe forever. So open up your hearts, let a true love come right in. Cause love is all we need to make us
Copyrights
stand.
for this music playing. We own
Let's
copyrights for
understand
this music
one
playing.
another and learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only.
All right, all right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the podcast of Action Require Media. Here we are dedicated to discussing hard truth and finding remedies for our problems. On this platform, we will stay engaged on all happenings in Mama Liberia, not limited to politics, religion, development, economy, security, crimes, war on illegal drugs, employment, youth, growth, and food production. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching and listening to Action Require Media. Here we educate, entertain, and empower. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the platform. Um, Before we go directly into our discussions, I will have us to pretty much introduce ourselves, and then we're going to go through our topics, and we're going to be open for discussion. Again, gentlemen, welcome. At this time, I will turn it over to Brother Edwin Saipor to please introduce himself. Brother Edwin.
Welcome to Actual Required Media. We thank you wherever you're listening around the world. We appreciate your constant in tune the Liberian activity that are going on, especially with a minor site. Uh, so if you love truth, so you're here. But anyways, happy Easter, guys. Happy Easter, everyone. My name is Edwin Saipor Jr. I'm a writer. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Edwin. And at this time, I will turn it over to Dr. Archibald B. Water. Pastor Water.
Thank you, CEO, and hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Happy Restoration Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful time at church today. And I'm looking forward to the discussion today. It's really a pleasure, and thank you for joining us. Please send us your comments and share our show, please, if you can. And we look forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Water. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host seven, Brother Joseph Brown. And again, welcome again. I appreciate the panelists being here today. And again, to our listeners and viewers, we say thank you, and please share and like our show. And if you want to be a part of this show, sometimes just let us know, and we can reach out to you and then get you connected. We're not going to waste any more time. We're going to introduce our topic, and then we'll have our opening prayer, and then we'll go directly in. Oh, I see Sergeant Montgomery. Sergeant Montgomery, can you
Good
hear
day,
us?
sir. Good day. How are you guys?
We,
You can hear me?
yes, sure, we can. All right. Do you want to introduce yourself before we go through?
So my name is Sergeant Montgomery. Happy Resurrection Sunday to you all, our listening audience via social media line. We want to say happy Sunday. And let me greet my fellow panelists, Dr. Wallow, of course, my brother Edwin, and of course, CEO. I salute you guys. Thank you.
appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much.
I want to say something, but we're not getting to argument yet. But I think Sedition City, the people that had that Sergeant Montgomery wearing the muscle they're all in Iowa OS. I just want to
I
notice right
yeah,
away.
yeah, I'm
that's
obsessed with CDC.
that's a
I
good
think, brother, you can
observation.
come home. You're welcome. You're very welcome. We are very arms open to you all. Come home, my brother. Come home,
All
my
right,
brother.
Okay, that's how I had to notice it though. That's
all right, all right. So, gentlemen, topic for discussion today is not going to be limited, but um, topic Liberia's infrastructures. What can we boast about? Okay, is Liberia a developing nation? Other issues affecting growth. I just want to make sure if these topics are fair and are fair for discussion today. Um, what can we really boast of in Liberia? And again, I'm going to start with something that you know we all can allude to. But before we go into the discussion, Brother Edwin, can you give us a short prayer?
thank you guys again. Happy Easter, God. He is raising. Let us bow. Father, may you increase as we decrease. We pray for the country of Liberia, even though we have bad leadership, but we know you are in control. We want a resurface of the Liberia that everybody knows. We want somebody to rise up. We're speaking this truth on the platform, even though we're a small platform, but just like the mustard seeds, we're planting these seeds. And we hope with the Holy Spirit that people will find these nuggets and so we can get to the messaging of the country. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Edwin. And again, welcome, panelists. So let's be fair
Yes,
here to
see
ourselves.
you, see you. Sorry for the interruption. Edwin, so I don't know if I was the only one or
Sergeant Montgomery,
Edwin. Can you say
your
something?
audio
I
is
wasn't hearing
bad.
you earlier. My
Edwin,
audio is bad.
Edwin, he said he cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, CEO, but I'm not hearing Edwin. That's I want to. Can you say something? Maybe I'll be able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Yeah,
you,
but
CEO.
your
I'm
audio
not
is
hearing
really bad.
Edwin. That's I want
Yeah,
to
but
say something.
your audio is.
Sergeant Montgomery, your audio is bad.
I think everybody hearing me, Montgomery. I think your audio is bad.
Maybe you want to log out and come back in. Okay. All right. So gentlemen, like I was saying earlier, we Liberia. Let be honest here with ourselves and be truthful to ourselves as well. Looking at where Liberia is and looking at the claims we have had before in the past, we claim onto a fact of setting truth that some believe or some still imagine, to be there, but in actual fact, these things are not there. Now, you have a lot of people pointing back to normal days, how Liberia was. So let's ask a question to ourselves. What what was there that we have not seen or that others are seeing that we cannot see? Okay? Especially when it comes to let's look at infrastructures. Let's look at uh, let's talk about buildings. Let's talk about road networks. Let's talk about uh, let remove commercial buildings, right? Let remove commercial buildings, private businesses and other stuff. But let's talk about government entity in Liberia. What are some of the things, guys, we can point to? You know, that we can boast about. Look, Ghana can boast about a lot of stuff. They can boast about the hydro plant. They can boast about the cities. They can boast about the airport. They can boast about the road network. They can boast about the education system. They can boast about the buildings. Likewise, other African nations. But Liberia is the oldest African nation, one of the oldest African nation. So, what are some of the things can we point to? We just point to 1847. That's it.
I
Gentlemen,
want Dr. Waller to take the lead on this one. I'm not just saying that because I really just want what Dr. Waller have to say, Dr. Waller need to remind me that, you know what I mean, I'm living poor. Go ahead, Dr. Waller.
Well, thank you, Edwin, and CEO. Thanks as well. Well, so let me say that um, we always need to remind ourselves that development in Liberia have been very, very slow, most especially when it comes to infrastructure. Uh, because a lot of the things that we identify in our national budget is all recurrent expenses. We just pay people's salaries, and we don't do real meaningful investment when it comes to infrastructure development. Most of our national budget goes on recurrent expenditure. So to really see the infrastructure development on a high pace or fast paced level is kind of really difficult,
so
right? Uh,
Pastor, well, let me ask you a question right there before I lose my thoughts. So, 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 what would be a solution for that if we're just using our income to pay employees? So,
yeah. So, see, I understand. But let me just end my thought.
go ahead.
Okay. Um, and and sometimes other people want to point at the war because we had the 15 years civil crisis, but we have had relatively peace in the country for about 20 plus years now. We should be making some level of progress. Uh, Liberia has, let's say, about 11,000 kilometers of roads. Uh, m- much of Most of these roads are unpaved or they are in very poor condition. Now, the Unity Party administration, their infrastructure plan from 2025 to 2029, uh, it aims at building or rehabilitating about 4,000 kilometers of roads. Uh, with that target, they have only been able to pave I think 700 kilometers. Look at the Robert International Airport Road, right? It have outlived almost three administration now. Uh, President Sirleaf started it. President Weah came. He tried to continue it, and now is with President Boakai. We have not been able to complete that road yet. Okay, and that is a very important corridor for our major international airport connecting to the capital city. Okay, so but that's road. When it comes to electricity, okay, we are also doing very poorly in electricity. When it comes to other infrastructure, we are doing very poorly. My point here is we have not been really focused on using our national budget to identify areas of infrastructure that we can develop. We are only paying people, okay, and we are not making substantial development in our infrastructure. Now you are asking me what is my solution. The first thing, look, I always say that national government determines national development. Okay, no private citizen can develop the country. It is national government that put out an agenda for development. So we have seen the CDC, we have seen the Unity Party. They have not been really, really robust on developing the country the way we expect it to be. Currently, even as we speak now, there are thousands of Liberians that are living that are sleeping in the dark in the heat because we have not been really focused on that. So my number one uh, suggestion is try new people that have new ideas. We need to try new people that have new ideas. We cannot continue to give the country to the same two political parties that have not been able to take us from where we are to where we need to be. There are other countries around us that are making substantial development infrastructurally, but we have not been able to do that. All we talk about are things that have already been, we have always talked about electricity, electricity, electricity. But even the electricity that have been systemically developed in our budget, we are not even doing well on it, right? So we need to change our approach because our approach is not working, and we need new leadership that would think differently about our infrastructure development.
Yeah, Dr. Waller, just to come up with some of what you were saying there, I just want to add to some of it. The, I think if the government is finding it difficult to just pay its workers, I think it's imperative that the government should look down on a small government rather than a larger government. Cut down salaries, cut down employees. Let's say, for example, if we having two senators for each county, you might cut it down to one. If we having 5, 10 representatives in one county, you might cut down to one or two. Let's say in a way, then you have other money left over. You can allocate that money to some other developmental developments in the country that will bring a new facelift to the country. But again, I think most people are just in for the greed and they want to rip the country off because they see that the youth, and mainly the citizen, let's say the driving force, the youth, are not proactive in holding its leaders to account. And again, I'll just
So,
give Edwin the opportunity.
yeah,
Go ahead.
before my brother Edwin comes in, let me just say this. With the thought you just shared about reducing, senators and representatives, that means you will have to change the constitution, right? Because that's what the constitution provides. Okay, but besides that, I think when you talk about reducing government employees, it has to be the civil servants, right? You can reduce the civil servants, but when you reduce the civil servants, where are you going to send them? We don't have any active private sector that can absorb them. Okay, that means that the government, look, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did that. Okay, when she came into power of first term, she downsized a lot of people only to bring in her own people, right? And there was a huge backlash on that. Okay, look, most of the decisions that our leaders make in our country, they make it on a political basis. If you make the government small and you downsize a lot of people, the thought there is that you're going to lose a lot of vote. People not going to vote for you, right? Just think about the going election, 2023 election, where the CDC introduced the harmonization. What people were saying, you homolize my vote, I mean, you homolize my pay, I will homolize your vote. Now just think about you downsizing them. What do you think they're going to do? So people, we are driven politically. We are not driven uh, on a research that a policy that is a result of a research, right?
Sure.
But we need to think about these things in a different way because
Okay.
what we have now is not working, and we need to change our approach.
All right. Thank you, Edwin.
Well, every day I thank God for Dr. Wallow and I thank God for my friend over here because Dr. Wallow have a binocular as to what Liberia is supposed to be or what it used to be. And then I also thank God for my friend over here because we are in the front seat of visionary stuff, how the country is supposed to be ran. My take on the podcast is always about how you call it, creating minds. We're talking about the government. We're talking about them how they creating stuff and how they shouldn't create stuff, or how we should vote for them, how we should minimize the government or stretch the government. We cannot do that if the government have a ultimatum on the population, because the population is not educated enough to vote for what they want. So you need to educate the populace. You need to mine ideas, political ideas, ingenuity ideas. We we can sit here and talk all the time. Excuse me, guys, if I'm trying to take a back row or anything, but we will be sitting here talking about all this stuff. We're not smarter than the people that are gifted that are sitting in dry zone right now. We're not smarter than them. The education just need to reach them so they can tell you exactly how things needs to go. The electricity issue that we're having in the country, the economy issue, there's a lot of smart people in the country. We don't know. So when the lead comes in, they ignore education. We're gonna be here having a job on a podcast and stuff. No, I call for a blanketed idea for everybody to get educated. We want to mind it. My boy was in Simaka over there making changes to map assignment and stuff. I was on the other side doing stuff. This is not about personal vision and stuff. And Dr. Water, you just say Jimmy Joloko ain't working. We we can't just sit here and just ignore these things. This is not the root. The root of the problem is reaching the actual people that know how to do stuff through education. If we can't reach them, we're gonna sit here and talk about politics and politicians. Every Sunday we're gonna talk about them. They don't have solution. We need the education process to be blanketed
Okay.
so it can
Eh,
reach everybody, so we can mine the right idea. Everybody not smart, but we need to mine. We don't know who is who in our country up to now. We're gonna start right here.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Water, and Brother Edwin. Sergeant Montgomery, I'm going to come to you in a minute. But let me just ask Brother Edwin and Dr. Water, what are one of the things in Liberia that you can point to, infrastructure that you can point to and say, yes, I'm proud of this. Liberians are doing well. One thing, one building, maybe
There is no
one.
there is no infrastructure in Liberia that anybody can point to. You know why? Because they never reached the ingenuity mind.
No, but I'm just asking
It-
us now.
no, I'm just saying no,
What
no.
one
To
thing
answer
can you
your
boast?
question, no, no. To answer your question, nothing, nothing.
Okay,
That's
Dr.
to
Water.
answer your question.
Dr. Water, we're
Okay.
not hearing you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So CEO and my fellow panelists, I don't want to, well, there are a few things in Liberia that we can make reference to, but
Okay,
that is what I'm going to say on the larger point, right?
okay,
Infrastructure development is is actually less about having money than being a very good steward of what you have. What you have, if you are able to effectively use it, right, you will be able to develop your country. Most of the time, we usually say that, oh, we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money. But at least the one that we have, this government, the national budget for this year is $1.2 billion. The first time for us to have, for our national budget to reach that. But look at what they are spending it on, Roger. Just look at the national budget, what they are spending it on. There is not good stewardship when it comes to our public money, right? Look, if even for 50%, if we are able to reduce corruption 50%, we have all of the money we need for us to for us to have a stable electricity in a country, right? So to your question, CEO, about what can we boast about? Well, go at I think have you guys seen the NAFTA building? A recent building. It started under President Weah, and I think it was dedicated under President Boakai. Go at a Freeport. President Weah built I think a building at a Freeport. Even LPRC, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, how they call it, the ministerial building.
Yes.
Okay, but those are not things that I would say I'm proud of. Okay, I want to see us as a country becoming uh, having a stable electricity in our country, where Liberian, because that's where development starts from, right? If we are able to have stable electricity in a country, then we will be able to actually do a lot of things with that. But we are still struggling with that. With I think 500 million dollars being spent on McCoffey Dam during Ellen City time, and yet instead we're still struggling to have electricity. There is not much you can be proud of in a country, but these little things. Oh, well, President Bill Rose or President Sally Bill Rose and what McCoffey, but those things are not helping, right? We need a robust infrastructure development, and we need for us to think about it in a different way, because we are not becoming good stewards of our resources. So it's kind of difficult.
Okay.
I'm
Think
sorry,
about it,
Dr.
Water.
Waller, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's not what the question was. The most recent FPRC building and stuff. We're talking about a backbone of a country.
Edwin.
What did you have? What
Yeah.
did you have?
We'll
What
come back.
could you point to? Not the most recent stuff. What did you have?
We'll come back
Then
to
we can
that.
build off on that. That's what the question was.
Okay. Sergeant Montgomery, I know you heard a little bit of the
Yeah.
conversation now. What's your take on this?
Right. So I think the question is, what do we have to boost off in Liberia? I want to just speak exactly to the talking point. Is that what
Yeah.
the question is?
Yeah.
So, so if you ask me, what do we have to boast off in Liberia, or what do we have to show for? Um, Look, CEO, let's be real here. All of what we have to boast off in Liberia now, right now, are all over 100 years. That's if we are talking about infrastructure wise. We have nothing to show for. All if we want to go infrastructure wise, all of our buildings that we say, oh yes, we have this, are all over 100 years, or maybe at least the most 60 years. So we took almost 25 years fighting war. We come back and then we are trying to look for something that we can boast of. It's not there. Look, if you ask me, CEO, one of the things I will tell you here on this platform is infrastructure development is not our issue now. Our issue right now is the mind renew. It's renewal of the mind. Liberian as it is now in that country, our major problem, I know we've all talked about education, but it's the mind that we see things. You can develop all you want. If the mind is not refined to catch up with modern day modernization, development, we are nothing. I see we go back to education. As for me personally, and I like that, our whole infrastructure when it comes to education, I think it needs to be retweaked. It needs to be changed. So when we talk about education here in the diaspora, we look at it from the lenses of because of we are in the diaspora, so we look at education. But then when you go to Liberia and they talk about education, it does not match. So now there's something got to give in. You find today children are learning Latin in Liberia. Latin, oh, Latin. What is it doing for them? French, French. Now I'm not saying this thing is wrong, but if it's bringing development, fine. I think the whole educational system needs to be re-evaluated to be able to catch up to modern day. You cannot take somebody from LU. You cannot keep saying that to catch up with even the high schools here. So the systems are not there. But one of the things I think Liberia can boast of today is religion. We got too much religion in the country. That's number one thing that Liberia, that's the only thing Liberia can go back to today. You find too many churches. It's not bringing nothing good to the country. You find so many churches costing us all over, and there's nothing is bringing forth. The government officials are raping. I mean, everything is just going all wrong. We don't have nothing. Thank God for His Excellency Dr. George Manuel. We are a visionary who came and started building food structures here and there. But everything that we have to boast of is over 80, 90 years old. We have nothing. And I want to start with my brother Edwin on this. I digress.
All right. So
I
gentlemen,
hate to agree with your seditious militant, but the first time I agree with him, I just had to say the first time I really agree with this man. So like, go ahead, brother.
all right. So gentlemen, this is very serious, and we need to look at it very closely. Okay. I don't know in which generation or what generation will come and see Liberia as a developed nation. And the next topic we're going to be going to is developing nation. But look at it from a different lens. Ghana, Liberia. Okay, let's look at the Ivory Coast. Every other country that was colonized by some European nations, they are mostly laid out and developed. But let's compare Ethiopia and Liberia that were never colonized. But then if we make the comparison side by side, Liberia is never close to Ethiopia. Okay? What was wrong with our mindset when we were free at that time to be able to lay out and build our own country in the way we wanted it to be? It never happens. Now, let's look at this. I would say there is a little we can point to in Liberia. Uh, my best building in Liberia is this building right here, and I would say the executive mansion is the best. Okay, that's would be my own thing I can point to.
How
The
old is that
executive
mansion,
mansion
CEO?
is
How old
very
is that
old,
mansion?
very old.
Okay.
But do you know that executive mansion was a gift to Liberia from the Queen of England?
So, but I'm just saying that's a beautiful building that I can point to and say, oh yeah, this building is beautiful.
Oh, you just
Okay.
excusing me and telling me say I own that place, but
But
you're excusing
CEO,
the owner of the building,
CEO,
bro.
I'm
Are
just
you
saying.
why
just
were you
brushing
boast
it
of a
off?
building
Huh?
that every year
That was
30
gifted to
million is
you.
being
It was
infused into
gifted
the
to you.
budget?
It was
And 30
gifted to
million is
you.
being infused into the budget just for renovation on that building. How can you be proud of that building, my brother? Every year it's infused in the budget, 20 at
Okay,
least 20 to 28 million.
And
but
Every
the
year.
but
building
Just for
was
the building
gifted to
again,
you. It's not
okay,
your
all
own
right,
bill. It was
Montgomery,
gifted to you.
Montgomery, yeah, but it was gifted to us. So it's a gift. A gift is a gift. I agree with you on the other sense though. But let's come back to the to point here, right? Our Liberia International Airport, okay, Rabat International Airport. That's the only major international airport we have in the country. Look at the airport itself. Okay, compare that airport to Koroka International Airport or any airport in Ghana. Okay, can we actually be proud of that airport? Let's be honest. I'm not saying Liberia is not making leeway. We are making leeway, but I cannot compare that airport to another airport in. I'm not talking about Sierra Leone. No, Sierra Leone, but I think Liberia Airport is more better than Sierra Leone. Is better, but
See,
compare. But again, and then look at our road network. Look at our highway from the airport to EW Junction.
I say you're
Look at the highway.
lying to yourself. If you go to sleep and tell you see like we're beginning to leave, you're lying to yourself. You're really lying to yourself.
Well,
Thank you.
let me say something to you quickly.
go ahead.
Okay. So let me remind us again that we are building from war.
Oh Lord.
We are building from war. I 100% agree with every one of you that we are not satisfied with where our country is. But there have been some, some development going on in the country. I mean, for those of you that were in Liberia during the war, you know that the war really destroyed most of our infrastructures. Okay, we are good at destroying things,
Dr.
but
Wally, can you point to
rebuilding
some of the infrastructure that was destroyed?
roads, roads, electricity. I mentioned
So
about
Which road? Which
which
electricity? Which road? Which electricity? Which road? Exactly the part of
the,
the Liberia that was destroyed in
the
the
Macope
electricity.
hydropower, the
Which
Macope,
road?
the
Which
Macope
road?
dam.
Which
So
road?
was it Mancoffey down supply the entire Liberia?
during before the war.
Yes.
Yes, it was supplying. No, I mean they we well the I think the LEC at point four. I think they had a generator there, but my coffee was supplying majority of the country before the war.
So you
But we
say
destroyed.
majority.
When
So
you
you
say
say
majority,
basically
which
13 counties.
percentage?
Was it
Which
supplying
Yeah, I
13
can't
percentage
I
of
counties?
can't
the
I
13
can't tell you
counties?
I can't tell you the percentage now, but yeah, yes, my point. The point I'm making
Okay.
here is this, gentlemen. Yes, my point. My point here is that while it is true that we are not where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be. Okay, the McCarthy hydropower was, it was rehabilitated. Okay, and even currently as we speak, McCarthy provide, I might not know the percentage, but it provides some level of electricity to the country. Okay, even though yes, we need more of that. But then also there have been other gradual road and network improvements in the country. It may not be as much as we wanted. Okay, and I think someone was mentioning the free port of Monrovia. The free port have been monetized. Honor President, we did a very good job with that. Improvement in cargo handling, capacity, improvement in equipment and logistic system. Those things have happened. The
Recreations.
CEO mentioned about our national airport. They have been upgraded at the Rabat International Airport. The airport terminal was destroyed during the war, but today there's a terminal there, right? The runway have been rehabilitated. Okay, so there have been some improvement. Even telecommunication in the country, there have been some improvement on that. We are not where we want to be, but we are improving gradually. If am I satisfied with the pace we are taking? No, I'm not satisfied with it.
Dr.
Okay,
Waller.
and that's why I am recommending that we need to rethink about how we do development in the country. But again, for us to really develop our country, it's not the amount of money we have, it's the stewardship. Okay, it's how money is being used. I think that's where the conversation should focus. How are we using our national budget? Because we are paying people exorbitantly when they are doing practically nothing. Okay, and if we continue that kind of mindset, if we continue the way, development in the country will be very, very slow. But there have been some improvement. We may not be satisfied with it, but there have been some improvement. We are coming
Look,
from war. Development going to take time, gentlemen. Development going to take time.
Dr. Waller.
Dr.
Dr.
Water,
Waller.
I appreciate your optimism, but I think your optimism is a quaalude to drive people to sleep. Your optimism is not a caterpillar bulldozing stuff for all to enhance changes. You're trying to put people to sleep. You say let's work with what we have right now. We're not working with anything. We don't have anything to work with. People are dying from premature death. People can build our own roads, and so you say let's work with what we have right now. We're already here. No, we're not. We're in triage. We're not gonna do that. And I really appreciate. I think you care for the country, and I appreciate your optimism. But your optimism is not what we need right now. We need a
So
bulldozer. We need a
so
bulldoze.
but let me
See,
come
let
in
me
with
let,
this
let me
point,
say this
right?
quickly before we move on. Let me say this.
Okay.
Well, my statement tonight is actually based is based on facts that we have seen in the country. It's not just a blind optimism, right? We have made some improvement. We may not like what the kind of improvements we have had, but there have been some improvements. Okay, there have been some improvement. Will it get better? Let's hope so. Let's hope that it gets better. But again, we have to change the way that we steward
Dr.
the the,
Waller.
the, the money that we have.
Okay.
What we have, what we do with it is important than how much we have. That is my point I'm making tonight.
But the point I'm trying to make here, and I would make it again, and I see that's where Liberia is lacking. I think we need a national agenda that every political party should follow. And I think it can only come to flourishing if we invite, and I will keep saying this until it falls on good ears. I think every registered political parties should come to a table, have a conference, plan Liberia, plan Liberia how they want Liberia to go, how they want to see Liberia tomorrow. If the 15, 20 years, 30, 40 years plan, have it in. If we're going to focus 75% or maybe 50% of every leadership, 50% goes to national agenda. Let's forget about self development like your pay and whatever. But every money, a national budget should focus on 50% of development of a national agenda. For example, let's say Joseph Boca government, let's say Ellen Johnson government, for 12 years, while they were trying to rehabilitate the road from the airport to EW Junction. After 12 years done, George Weah came in. He tried the same thing. Joseph Boca is doing the same thing. Are you gonna tell me that length of from RIA to uh, EW Junction, if that road is paved, I think it's less than 30 minutes drive. You gonna tell me it's gonna take 25 years to finish that road? 25 years? For what? My thing here is, look, there's no pressure on the government, okay? No national agenda. People have lost interest in that country. They go into that country, leadership, political agenda for enriching themselves and their family. That's all they do, enrich themselves and their family. Now, I find it very difficult, okay, to see Liberia at this point in time that we cannot point to anything. Look at our universities. Look at our hospitals. That the water is. We should be ashamed of ourselves sometimes, but I'm proud to be where I came from. Okay. Okay. But again, we should be able to stand up and say, look, even though we celebrate free and fair election in Liberia, transfer of power from one government to another government, that's a plus for us. But what can we point to that water? We need national agenda. We need the country budget to focus on development. We have natural resources that are just leaving the country. We should have manufacturing companies in Liberia. Let's industrialize Liberia. But it's not happening. It's not happening. If not for the remittance budget in Liberia or the remittances that go to Liberia, not that Liberians wouldn't survive it. Wouldn't survive living in Liberia. And that's the fact. I don't know how we can transform this. Look at recreations. Let's talk about if Josh Weah wasn't going to build the park, the PHP park, and other parks around, you wouldn't have our kids going to places that get clean. On July 26th, they're all dressed up, having fun, going to the beach, people doing video recording here and there. Kids are happy. He brought a little facelift to the country. If Summer Kayando wasn't going to build our sport complex, SKD, where we have been having our international games, where? ATS? Panama Fee? It came Joshua renovated the place. Look, that's what we said it before on this platform. Sportsmanship. Sports build a nation.
I'm on my
Okay?
podcast, man.
We could invest into these areas. And I think Joshua was doing okay with recreation.
30
Okay?
minutes.
Bring
Edwin,
a
please
facelift to the
mute.
country.
Edwin, please mute.
Bring a facelift to the country. Okay? But we need to point to something. Look at the electricity, LEC. Look, let us not go there. But like I said again, we should be thinking about downsizing the government, reducing the pay. For no reason. I mean, for what? What are you guys getting all this money for? And the country is look at the Freeport road. The road from Freeport to downtown Monrovia. Look at the potholes. The big holes. Come on, man. And that's why we're proud of to bring somebody, we bring international dignitaries from different countries, and we drive into Monrovia, and we're proud of it. But all these government officials, they travel to the United States, the UK, and places. They see development, but they don't want to bring that development to Liberia. It's sad.
Yeah, but because see, was seeing development and having a mind, a developed mind to put a development plan together and then implement it are two different things. Okay, I don't think I'm not seeing a Liberian who does not want development in Liberia. We have not been able to do it the way Liberians want it to be done, right? In a very, very
Dollar
cost.
water. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. I don't think it has to do with education or world travel or seeing stuff. I think it boils down to patriotism. It boils down to say, is this a place I'm gonna live to make it better than for me to have a split decision to let me do halfway. They treat the play like a farm. I think that's the problem we've been having. I think that's the problem we've been having. It has nothing to do. We've been having a lot of educated like people, a lot of people with PhD, a lot of people with doctor degree and stuff. They're not patriotic enough. They don't love the country enough. And love can make you build a bridge to Claratown. Love can make you see your river and stuff in the ocean different way. We don't have that. So we need to invoke that Dole thing. I'm not a Dole fan too much, but Dole was so patriotic. No, without education, you just wanted to build the place.
I see. Let
I
me
don't
jump in.
think education is gonna solve the problem. And you can
Okay,
come in, brother.
go ahead, brother
CEO,
Grandma, and then
I think Edwin is striking a very good point, and Dr. Wallo as well. Look, like I said, man, Edwin struck a point when he talked about patriotism. Most, if not all, of our government officials for the last 30 years. Let me go back to the last 50 years. I wouldn't say they've been patriotic. Most of our former leaders, because even to today, all of our government officials boast of property they have outside of Liberia. But when you look at what they have in Liberia, it's very little. Most of, if not all of our government officials today, they have properties in Dubai, England, here in the Americas, and you name it. But when you go back inland, Liberia, there's nothing. But these are the guys at the helm of office. These are the lawmakers. These are the guys who are calling the shots. And those shots transform into funds. Where those funds go, we don't see it. We don't see it. So patriotism is the word, my brother Edwin. And I don't even see it, but thank God that CEO was naming some of the things that His Excellency Dr. George Mane we have built. You see, and when we always talk about somebody that love the country, he's one name that always popped up. He's one name that always popped up. I understand we want to go to election and change and change and change. But if somebody is on a trajectory on the line of developing the country, then we change it because we want to be party sentiment. We want to be, emotional about things. Some people, somebody say the man is not educated and all of that. But all of our forefathers, our founding fathers who have been so educated, little of nothing. If I say little of nothing, there's nothing have there to show for it. You go look at Tubman Building right now in Maryland. Last for ruin is dead, nothing. So Liberians, we are better off being destructive than constructive. We destroy more than we build. We will build another man country before we even think of. Let me go to my people like Yeke. Yeke is on a record for saying he has very beautiful home in Dubai. He has a beautiful home in England, in Ghana as well. Those homes each cost over $200,000, $300,000. Of course, Dubai to live the kind of lifestyle he's talking about, you will have to fund over 500,000. So somebody can ask, well, where is Yaka taking this money from? I'm just using him as one of the names of many. Where are they taking the money from? From the country coffers. So the people are destroying the country by the hour, and yet we keep electing them. We keep electing them. That's why I say we got to go back to the mind. It's renewal of the mind. Righteousness exalt a nation. If you are not righteous mind in the upward in the mind, you will never exalt that nation because why? We keep going back to the same old thing, destroying and building somebody else's home. It's sad, CEO.
okay.
And I gotta ask a quick question here, real quick. How many of us were here, including me? How many of us on the podcast say, I want to go start something tomorrow in Liberia. I'm gonna start a new school so my children can go to the school because I'm patriotic. We don't have a lot of Liberian pool. We don't have a Kwame Nkrumah way of living and say, to hell with the whole thing. I'm gonna build a new thing right here, and everybody, my children gonna go to school right here in my backyard, and I'm gonna build a thing from scratch. This is my home. We don't have that.
Edwin,
That's just the truth. Well,
Edwin,
Can
whatever you want to say, that's the
Edwin.
truth.
yeah, let me let me let, let
There are
me
a lot of Liberians from
see
the
you see you. Oh,
diaspora that open an international school in Liberia, and the schools are doing pretty well. So again, there are Liberians who are doing those things, and kids are excelling. You go in
Brian,
there.
you're not rewarding me. You're not rewarding me. All the people getting funds from internationally, and our whole
No,
thing
no,
is
no, no, no.
independent on the international stuff.
Most of them from here, they are
Nobody
joined.
said.
They are joined.
Nobody said I'm here. I followed the girl from Texas. She was a nurse. She started out of school. Nobody said I'm just here. I'm gonna help my people no matter what. I'm not gonna depend on the international community because this is my country. They all depending on help from over here. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not saying that a lot of
Tata
people not
Water.
doing these stuff. They're doing it.
Tata Water.
yes. Um, I wanted to say that um, look, we have a lot of Liberians that are very patriotic. Liberians love their country. Liberians are loyal to their country. Liberians love their country. What we don't have is good stewardship. Okay, I want to add to what Sergeant Montgomery said about the righteousness piece. The righteousness piece has to do with us doing things the right way, doing the right thing the right way. We have struggled with stewardship in our country. Okay, our level of stewardship, the way we steward our resources, the way we steward public resources, it's been wrong. Okay, it's been really, really wrong. And if we really, really want to correct that, we have to feel some level of responsibility to our country. That's where the stewardship comes from. Look, I'm not going to name individuals, right? Because some of the individuals that we sometimes name, they have not been fortunate to have gotten uh, in public leadership where they were able to control the assets of the country. People that have served in those kind of capacities are the people that we should mention. Okay, like our past presidents, people that we have given responsibility, leadership responsibility to. Okay, let hold them accountable. Let hold them responsible for their failures. Okay, but we cannot be on the show and say that we Liberians we are not patriotic to our country. Being patriotic is one thing, but being a good steward, that is another different thing. You have to have the responsibility to see that public money is not your money. Public money should be accounted for. I saw a video. I saw a video online. I don't know how true that is, where this big building is being built for President Bouaka in his
It's
where
resident. Yeah.
rehab. Wait, I want you guys to like if that
I
is
saw it with the
true.
crane. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if that is true, now just tell me. This was a president before he became president. He said you are living from loans. Now you are erecting a very big, very decent, very big building. Now the question is, where is that money coming from?
Hmm.
You know, stewardship. Does President Baga don't love his country? He does. He loves Liberia. But let's look at his stewardship. Let's look at his responsibility to private.
See you 30 seconds after
Hmm.
that, Olu, please.
It just
All right.
so my thing is the stewardship of our country has not been good. That's what I say, and that's where I 100% agree with Pastor Kuma when it comes to the righteousness. The
All right.
Bible does not lie. When God word says it, it is true. It is not fact. It is true.
Okay.
Okay.
Taking that the
It is
water.
righteousness that will exalt our nation.
Taking that the water. Pas- Remy, Sergeant Montgomery.
Yeah, CEO, I just wanted to differ with my honorable man here, Dr. Wolu, a bit. You know, what is patriotism if you don't love? You cannot be patriotic if it's not translating into what you say you're patriotic about. Pastor Dr. Wolu, you can love the country, you can be patriotic, but if it's not translating, then I don't see it as love. I cannot say I boast of loving my country like you said, but I'm lacking stewardship. The stewardship is not there because one, you either don't have the discipline. But most of the people, Dr. Wallow, my fellow panelists, going back to our independence from the founding of the country, most of the people who have been at the helm of office have all been educated from the Western world. Am I correct or am I lying? Most of them, so at least they would have traveled to see that this thing is better. At least let me take it back to my country. These guys are educated. So they've gotten the stewardship. They learn it. But the application, and that's when love comes in. Look, it takes sacrifice to develop a country. That's where you want to show your love. But I cannot equate it to not being a good steward. Of course, that's part of it. But the most thing, like the Bible said, you got faith, you got hope. But the greatest of all of these three is love. You cannot manage these two if you don't have the greatest of all. It will not translate. So I will not equate it to stewardship. Of course, it's part of the issue. But love is the essential thing. If you love the country like His Excellency Dr. George Manuel, who during the war days will leave his game, come to Liberia when bullets were flying, when even the communists would not even attempt to go to Liberia. You name them. Her Excellency, former Maradona, Madam Ellen Johnson, 12 years, she had all of the fundings. What do we have to show for it? I see my brother is talking about the airport, the roads, and everything. Nothing. Let me tell you. After Charles Taylor, the most supportive government by international NGOs and whatnot was Her Excellency, the most educated woman. What did she do? One, she's not patriotic because she calls for Liberia to be level. She does not love the country. So these people we've been electing, of all of them, and it's not coming never fought to Liberia during the war days. He never invested anything. But we keep asking for that guy to come back. They can't do like some kind of savior from somewhere. I want to see what he has done. And don't tell me
Okay.
corporate America. And corporate America is not Liberia. Cummings should have shown his patriotism or love for Liberia by going in the land and say, you know what? War no war. This is what I'm going to do into Liberia. But we don't see it. But there's some men who say, oh, you give me this office before I start showing my love for the country. And somebody who can't tell me say that's a good steward. No. The condition under which Alexander Cummings thrive under, even me without a business acumen, I could have gone and succeed under that. So we will not go and hail this guy something that he is not supposed to be hailed for. Ellen's supposed to look, Cummings supposed to go right now and say, you know what? I am not the president, but this is what I can do. This is what I can do. Look at Musa Hassan Benete. You see what Hassan Benete is doing all over the country. Why Cummings can do the same? Oh, Cummings is worth over $25 million. So this patriotism and love for country, only one person that have demonstrated that. That's why he's won my love. His Excellency Dr. George Manuel. If you want to put it
Okay.
up, put the record
All
side
right.
by side. You put Cummings aside, you put George Weah aside. Let's test the record. So
Okay.
Cummings
So
then the J one can and take from the own and go carry it. They may already depleting his funds. They were almost threatening to leave him because what? This coming election, she already told him she will not use family coffers to manage it. So this guy just
okay.
needs to give it up, support the country by another way. You don't be
All right.
talking about Cummings on any kind of platform because someone will be here to descend on your heavily.
All right. So
No,
let
but
me
bro,
let me.
before
I
you
kind of
come in, before you come in, I got 100% disagree with that. The wall, 100%, 100, maybe 110%. If you're patriotic, you don't assign branches to your language. You don't come over wall as stewardship and stuff. The kingdom of God absolutely need nothing to commence. You're patriotic, you're just patriotic, you just do it. Patriotism requires sacrifice. You don't need linguistic aspect for people to define
CEO,
for you to
the money you get
follow.
for me, please cash out to Edwin. The money you get for me, please give it to him. I see your phone.
You don't need linguistic aspect to for people for you to come up with different umbrella of what you can do. You are just patriotic. You just do it. You are sacrificial. You just put yourself on the line. You just go and do it for your country. No matter what happens, if you die in the process, people will come after you and follow you because it's for the nation building. You don't assign linguistic aspect to it like stewardship and umbrella, different stuff. You don't do that.
Okay.
So you're either patriotic or you are not. You cannot be a steward or something. You're either patriotic or you're nothing. We don't have people like that. 100%. I'm gonna stop there.
Okay. So, okay, gentlemen, I think we can
CEO,
see
can I say
we can
something
see and
quickly?
feel the
Can I,
what is the what?
They may want come out defense. Did that thing that one. Don't talk about coming. They may record
Okay,
right.
the
no,
what? 30
no,
seconds.
the conversation is not about
It's not about coming.
comment.
It's not about
All
anybody.
right.
Go.
Because we are.
All right.
All right. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
just wanted us to look. I just wanted us to look at the definition of those two words, right? And I don't. Well, I just want us to look at the definition of the two words. Now, patriotism means having love, being proud, devotion to your country. Okay. Example, feeling proud of your country, respecting national symbols like the flag, the national anthem, supporting your country and its people, defending your country when it's necessary, or celebrating
Dr.
Independence Day.
Waller, may I just stop you right there
No,
because
hold on,
you're
hold
just
on, hold on.
I want to
Now,
stop you right there.
Yeah, Dr.
You are
Wale, you keep
either,
digging the hole.
yeah, I
You
want
keep
to
putting
stop you
yourself
right
in the
there
hole. Don't
because
do it.
you're creating more linguistic. You're either running your household, either when you knock the door, your children feel Papa is home or not. You don't need no linguistic for
I
them
don't
to tell you, say,
understand. Okay, but
who's in the
let me
camera
finish,
over
Edwin.
there
Edwin.
to tell you the
Edwin.
Edwin,
stuff. You don't
can
need
I
all
finish?
the, okay.
Edwin.
Okay, go.
Edwin. Let the water finish.
Ali, let me finish. Then you can't and descend on me. But let me finish first. Okay. So stewardship has to do with taking responsibility to care for and improve your country, like managing your country resources wisely, like protecting public property, like helping to develop your country, right? So that's what I'm talking about. There are people that love the country, but they still steal from the country. Okay, look, we can stay here and
Dr.
say
Wallo,
that.
that's not love. That's not love. You
Yeah,
cannot
but
run
hold on
things in
now.
love, Dr.
Yeah,
Wallo.
yeah,
You
hold
stealing
on.
from the country, you hurting the country. That's not
Yeah,
love. How can you
exactly,
say
Pastor
somebody
Kuman.
love the country but is stealing?
So,
It doesn't
yeah,
fit in the same sentence, Dr. Wallo.
yes, yes, I agree with you. You cannot love something and then you destroy it, right? I totally agree with you on that. But what I'm saying to you is we cannot we cannot sit here and say that I love Labrador more than Edwin because I have done XYZ for Labrador and we have not. What we can say though is that I have been more steward than Edwin because of my responsibility, my management of what I have been entrusted to me. We cannot define people love because of what they did or what they did not do, and we say that person loved Labrador more than the other person. But if you are given a responsibility, how have you been able to discharge that responsibility? Right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I am not saying that when you love your country, you can when you love your country, okay, you have to stiffen your country. What I'm saying is that we cannot prove who love Labrador more than their friend. Okay,
Edwin, please help your partisan, man. Edwin, help your partisan.
that
I see my
what we can
sister
say
struggling,
is
man.
that the reasons we are where we are is because we have had poor stewards. in our
Edwin,
country.
jump in, man. Edwin,
All
because
right, Dr. Wallo,
I'm
let
really
me,
trying to understand
Dr.
that
Wallo,
The
let me
thing
conversation.
is
come
that
in.
the
Let me come in real
water,
quick.
that
Edwin,
water, what you're
Edwin,
saying is
I,
we don't need to assign uh titles to people.
No,
If I'm in
if
North
you don't
Carolina,
understand
no,
what I
no,
said,
no.
I
If
can
I'm
show
in
it
North
to you.
Carolina, if I'm in North Carolina, if that the
all
water
right,
needs
gentlemen,
help with
let's get back.
backyard, it needs
Let's
help
get
with
back here real
backyard.
quick.
That's it.
Edwin,
I'm not gonna call myself a mower or whatever. That's just it's just natural to me that I'm just
Yeah,
gonna come
yeah,
to that
yeah.
water place and
okay,
do stuff. I don't need to assign certain names.
all right,
So we
gentlemen.
don't have patriotic people that are whether you want to believe it or not, we don't
We don't.
have them. Whether you want to say or not, you say Joseph Baga, even though he's stealing, but he building a
Yeah,
million
but he
dollar
loves
thing.
the
Are you
country.
kidding me?
When
Are you kidding
Liberians
me?
heard that Guinea were encroaching on our land, there were people that stood up to defend their country. That's
But I
patriot.
just thought, but that's the one that I just
Well,
thought.
you cannot just
If
thought
Guinea
that
were
you
going to
see
run
that.
in Liberia,
Now
everybody
you
was going
see.
high.
That's what I
That's the
said.
one
You
that I
can
talk, man.
now.
That's the one.
Okay,
Are you
so
really
you say
falling
that
for that?
I just talk. You see that? You say
That's
that
the
I
one.
just talk.
Are you really falling for that?
The
Ex
the
rebel then
man,
accuse the guy and say, "Oh,
the
let
man
Guinea
digging
try it."
here. Oh,
CEO,
here,
just
one
CEO, please.
argument.
Yeah, CEO,
All
please.
right,
CEO,
gentlemen,
let go.
let's come back to
Let
this,
go.
right? So this is what I see with Liberia, Liberia problems now. All right, so the leaders are embezzling funds like crazy because there is no accountability and no penalty for them. Okay, so they have seen it been done in the past government, and nobody have been held accountable. Nobody has been punished. There have been no severe punishment for those embezzling country funds. Now, I will come to this and say, with the assets recovery, I think assets recovery should go back as 50 years. And assets recovery shouldn't be done by people in Liberia or Liberians auditor or whatever it is. I think it should be based on an international level where we get people, let's say for example, from Germany and Australia, maybe Kenya, maybe Uganda. I'm just saying something. Bring them to the country, rent them a nice hotel, give them everything. Look, go after this, do your accounts, find everything for all the leaders for 50 years. I'm just saying something, 50 years. And let the guys be held accountable. If you are found invested in the country funds with, if we compare your salary you make as a senator or representative and find out that you have excess funds into your account or properties outside of your salary, then you should be held accountable. Let's say it should be sentencing for those people
Mr. Brown,
investing the country money.
Mr. Brown,
Go ahead.
Mr. Brown.
And that would serve as a deterrent.
Yeah, no,
Go
no,
ahead.
Mr. Brown, you're making a poignant point. You're making a point. Let me just tell you right now what is going to disrupt the entire Liberian government right now. If you don't want to, if you want to know that people have two-faced stuff, go and sign a law and make it harder for folk to send money out of Liberia right now in Liberia and see what happens.
That's a good one
You see
too. That's
how
another
many
good one.
patriotic people that are what I'm talking about stewardship and all this stuff make it harder for people to send money out of the country. Let me see that stewardship. Invent your new linguistic or whatsoever or whatever thing. You're either
But
patriotic or you're not.
overall, overall, Edwin, I think I like what you said because people are, most government officials are taking the money from Liberia and sending it abroad. And the reason why they're doing it because of the exchange rate. Because
Yeah,
we
but
use US dollars in
that's
Liberia.
stewardship.
If it were just
What you
Liberian
talking about?
dollars,
That's stewardship.
huh? If it were just Liberian dollars they have been
I'm saying to
paying,
my brother Edwin that what you are talking about is you are seeing it because people are taking money that don't belong to them, and they are taking it out of the country. Now, if you were to put something in place that stop that, that's you being a good steward because you are trying to hold people accountable for misusing public money. So that's stewardship. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Edwin. You are actually talking for what I'm talking about, but maybe your way of describing it is being patriotic. My way of
No,
describing it
no,
is
Dr. Wallow, I
being
read a
being
lot, but
being
sometimes I don't
being,
like book. I
being,
read a lot, but I
responsible.
don't like book.
Being responsible.
I like doing. I read a lot. I read a lot, but I don't like book. I don't like book. I don't like
All right, gentlemen,
linguistic,
let's go to the
artistic
next.
linguistic way
Let's
of shipping stuff. I like for people to show me what you are doing so you
let's
can
go to the
follow
next.
me. I don't like for people to invent
And
linguistic. It's a
that's
process.
stewardship, Edwin. That's stewardship.
All right, let's go to the
When you are
next. Let's
Call
go to
it
the
describing
next
it,
whatever.
point.
Do it. Do it.
Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to ask you guys a question here. Yes or no? But you have 30 seconds to respond to your yes or no question. All right. Uh, and then we can come back up to another topic. All right, brother Edwin, are you satisfied the way Liberia is going? Is Liberia going in the right direction or not? And if not, can you explain in 30 seconds?
Is that
Are
a
you
trick question?
are you are
No,
you
it's
okay?
like it's like the current government like sponsoring. You got a sponsorship behind the scene like you didn't tell us, bro. What kind of question is this? Is that a trick question or something? Are you kidding me, bro?
No, not really, bro. Nothing.
Like, what kind of
Nothing.
question is this?
The question goes to me too. Okay, I will start with myself. I personally don't like the
And
direction
like
Liberia is
me and
going to.
Dr. Water, we been on this thing like this. We need people that are gonna prioritize economic and
No,
industrialization in the
I ask
country
you a
so the
simple
private
question.
sector
Are
like
you
way
okay?
the way the country going is good. Okay, go ahead, answer your own question.
The question, no, the way the country is going, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. Okay, and I think we need to take a different approach. Like Brenda, take a different approach to development, um, education, and how we trade. Okay, our resources and what better information we need that we can get from other African nations on how best we can manufacture or build industries in our country. I'm not proud of where Liberia is going, but I'm proud to be what I came to be. I'm proud of where I'm from.
okay. So
Edwin?
CEO, you see now. Let me respond to that. You said you are proud from where you are from. You are
Yeah.
proud to be a Liberian. That
Yes.
you being patriotic. Okay, but you are not proud of what the government is doing.
100%.
Okay, the stewardship of the country. You are not proud of it,
Yeah.
right? That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the difference. And I'm happy that you were able to say that. I will share exactly the same thing with you. I am proud to be a Liberian. I'm proud of my country. I am not proud of my government.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I am not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sergeant Montgomery.
I think you guys are moving the goalpost. Me being proud of my country does not make me a good steward. Does
No,
not.
that's not what we said. That's not what
That's
we said.
true. No, you're right, Pastor
You're
Kraman. That's
right, but that's
exactly
not
what we
but
are saying.
but that's not the
So
question. Yeah.
so I don't know why you would side with Joe or what Joe would side with you. They're just two different things.
I think you guys are gaslighting me with all the
Yeah,
linguistic
I'm
stuff.
telling you.
I think
You're
you're
taking
trying to
the one
gaslight me on
side
purpose.
as
Okay,
if
I'm not
both
gonna
are the
fall
same
for it.
thing.
You're gaslighting me.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, again, from our
What,
discussions we
Bro
have
Joe?
had,
Let me not to honest. No, they think it's very good for
No,
people
no,
to
like
they,
the
understand.
one
they will
you're
answer the
coming
question.
playing with words and see you're trying to build
Did you
your own
answer it?
you're moving the goalpost and it will not fit.
No, I'm
All
not.
right.
I'm not
All right.
moving gospel.
Okay.
What
So,
what Joe
Sergeant
said was
Montgomery,
that
Sergeant
he's
Montgomery,
proud. He's
are you
proud to be
proud?
a Liberian, but he's not
But
proud
then you said that's good, that's
of where the
stewardship, and
country
that's
is
not
going.
stewardship.
So I said,
That's
being
good
being
stewardship.
proud to be a Liberian is patriotic. But not being proud of your government, you are not being proud of their stewardship over the country. That's what I'm saying.
Nah. Anyway, let go
All right.
see you.
So, I'll ask you again, Sergeant Montgomery, are you proud of where the country is going
And why?
and why, or why
No, I'm
not?
not proud of where the country is going. I'm
Okay.
not.
Why
I'm
not?
not proud, and this is why.
Hmm.
I think when something seems like it's working, or if something is working, don't try to change it only because you don't like who's doing it.
Okay.
Two, I don't like the way the country is going because why? You got too much religion that's crippling the country. in my opinion, shut down most of the churches, shut down most of the mosques. That the people's focus. If you build factories and build other things that the people will be focused, you will not see them going to church too much. You got people in the churches praying 10 hours a day and go be begging people in the diaspora for 1 cent. No, build factories. Let people go to work. God bless the hand of your work. You can't be sitting and praying and expecting God to do the rest for you. No, it doesn't work like that. Even the Bible says, "Fit without work." So I don't like the way the country is going. If I were to be president, 1 second, I shut down everything. We start again from the ground. I'm talking
Okay.
about religion.
Edwin.
You saw it
Bro,
finally before Edwin already. Oh, okay.
like I summarize it, bro. Like I am not like saying qualms about these things. I am very straightforward. If you love the country, people follow you, and then you lead by example. You put the country first. You don't have
But
to
Edwin,
invent
you're
a
not answering the
new
question.
linguistic.
The question to you, are you proud of where the country
You're
is or where the
tricking
country
me.
is going?
Like it's a tricky question, bro.
It's not a
Like,
tricky
why would I
question.
be proud?
Are you
The
proud? Are
mentally
you
you're
proud of the way the
proud,
country is
you
going or not?
As I was saying, you're gaslighting me. You
No, I'm
got
not.
Guinean.
I am
You
not.
got Guinea people to your bowler trying to flunk people in love. Are you kidding me, bro?
That
Go
travel,
ahead,
you're the
Dr.
promise
Wallace.
people
Go
that
ahead.
travel.
Go
No,
ahead,
You're
Dr.
the
no.
Wallace.
promise
Go
I'm
ahead,
people.
Dr.
asking
Go
you
ahead,
question,
Dr. Wallace.
Edwin.
Go
The
ahead,
question
Dr. Wallace.
is,
You know my
are you
answer.
proud?
You already answer. I answer
No,
it,
no,
bro.
you did not answer the
No, bro.
question.
Dr. Wallace, go ahead. Dr.
And my
Wallace, go
first time
ahead.
see Edwin run away from a question on number
You
one.
I'm not running away from anything because that man's trying to gaslight
no.
me on
On
purpose.
Bro,
what?
don't do that to your
No,
man, but I beg you, don't do that to
I'm
your man.
asking you a question.
That the only man coming depend on now. Don't do it to you.
Like Montgomery, have you worked out in your house in Liberia, no food in the house? You're
I know,
okay?
right?
And
Yeah.
somebody pitching your joint
I
trying to
set
play
up.
for you? Are you okay? That's a
And the
question to me
man know the
ask
answer
you.
Yo,
to
Are you
it.
okay?
bro Joe,
Yes.
You see what
Joe,
Brown doing? Brown know that trap.
bro Joe.
Yeah.
The question you are asking is a very important question. Okay, a very important question. And yet, here's the reason I say that. We as Liberians, if we knew where our country should be going, then we can evaluate whether we like the way it is going or not. I don't even know where that country is going. Where is it? Where are we taking it? Where? To where?
That's a good word.
We don't even know where we want the country to go.
No
So,
national agenda that the water. National
yeah,
agenda,
I mean,
nothing. We don't have it.
we where do we want where do we want our country to go?
Oh Lord.
Where?
Good question.
Every administration that comes, they just do a little patches,
Enrich
and then
themselves.
that's it.
Yeah.
6 year comes and pass. Then we wait for the next election. Another person comes, another administration comes. They do a little patches, and then we say, yeah, the person loves the country. The person is doing great. The person is doing that. Look, I cannot be proud of where the country is and where it is going because I don't even know where we want it to go.
Okay.
Okay, I really don't.
Okay. All right, gentlemen.
The four of us on the panel right now, and this is not trying to just look at people in Liberia and say nothing going on. But the four of us on the panel right now, even with the super sedition, we can go in our country right now and make a hair wave in 6 months in our country. So my brother Joe asked me, say, are you satisfied with the thing? I think he pissed me off on purpose. I'm not doing
But
that.
you gotta take away the sedition on the show. Yeah, you gotta take it.
Oh wow.
We gotta bring one UPS on the
No, the other people had six. They had 6 years. I don't even know where the country was going at that time. But yeah, he's proud of it.
But CEO just listed everything that we did in during our 6 years. Let's see you. The airport we don't want to give it to you. The roads we don't want to give it to you.
Little patches, little
We
patches,
don't want to pay free.
little
We
patches.
don't want to build the most up-to-date hospital. Yet you didn't see what we did, but they were taking off the show. Okay, let's bring you got 2 ANC. Okay, CEO that independent.
No, no, no.
Okay, that be
I
my
didn't say
United
that
Party.
I didn't say that you take it off the show. I said whatever Edwin was describing that we can do in Labrador, he shouldn't include you.
Oh no, of course I will do better. You know that. Cummings don't
Okay,
match
Brother,
my records.
brother,
Cummings
gentlemen,
will
we
not
try
match
to
my record
label,
for what I will
we
do to
try to
Liberia.
label stuff, bro. I'm non-partisan. Me and Brian were non-partisan today. They keep labeling me as an ANC and stuff. I'm not a partisan person, bro. That's why I
That means
speak truth both
You're an
ways.
ANC partisan,
No,
brother. As
I'm
a matter of
not.
fact,
I
all
just
right,
as
go
you
for
gentlemen,
speaking right now,
ideas.
you
I'm
bleed
not a partisan.
ANC.
gentlemen,
I'm a non-party. I don't have
gentlemen,
zero party in that, bro.
gentlemen.
All
So
right.
we're gonna
Now bring on the
we're
CEC
gonna
then.
go into a little bit of short time here. We're gonna allocate 2 minutes and a half or 3 minutes to everybody to make the points and your suggestions on how you want to see Liberia sometimes tomorrow, uh, before you know maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now. So again, we're gonna cut the show short because Edwin have some engagement, and I have to get ready for work too as well. I'm gonna start my 3 minutes, and you can put anything you want to put it in it. Just talk about, you know, what you want the country to be and your suggestions and how you look at things to be. I'm gonna start first, and we're gonna do 3 minutes each. Let me see my time right here. I'm gonna say that real quick. All right, so gentlemen, this is what I see about Liberia. We are lacking in so many fields, okay, in so many areas, places that we're supposed to be counting. Okay, let's talk about human growth. Let's talk about human development. Let's talk about healthcare, education. Let's talk about the economy. Okay, Liberia, we are not there yet. There's nothing we can point to as a major development in Liberia that we can count and say other countries will depend on us for it. Look at Ghana. Ghana is supplying electricity to Liberia, some part of Africa's, and Togo. Now, let's look at the newest dam that just built, the biggest dam ever in Africa. Okay, the Ethiopian dam. Now they'll be able to supply the entire country and other country with electricity. These are things they can boast about. It's a national treasure they can boast about. What can Liberia boast about? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. We have been running around here shouting that um, Liberia did participate in other West African countries gaining their independence, but those countries we help gain independence are bigger than Liberia in infrastructure, economy, education, and so many more. Now, I'm not proud of how the country is going. The airport road, our international, our highways, our major cities, our uh, water and sewer, our electricity, nothing is going well. Okay, and again, we can do better. I think our leaders should be held accountable, and there should be more harsher punishment for those that invest of the country money. We should limit our resources to just to Liberia and its people, not to the government officials. And again, they have our assets. We should be more involved, especially uh, with clarity of what we are doing and how we are going about doing those things. Our national agenda should be made known to the public of Liberia. Let it be made known to the citizens. This is what we're going to do. We need transparency. Okay, we need a national agenda that we will follow, not a political national agenda, not a party agenda, but we need a national agenda to take Liberia from poverty to elevation. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. At this time, I will give time over to my fellow panelists for their take and little suggestions. I don't know which one of you want to go first, but it's
I
open.
can go.
Dr. Waller.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I think it was a nice conversation. Um, Liberia has been known for few of the first things in Africa. The first country to gain independence in Africa. Um, the first and only African to have won a Ballon d'Or came from Liberia. The first female to be elected president in Africa Liberia, came from Liberia, the first black woman to have served as the UN Secretary General came from Liberia. We have been known for so many firsts. Where is the country that have always broken the glass ceiling on so many fronts? We need to get back to that. I think we are distracting ourselves too much with so many political activities to an extent that we are not even looking at the country for which we have all these political parties for. I'm only calling on Liberians tonight. Let's get back to who we are. We are the people that make history. We are the people that break glass ceilings. We are the people that did things first. What would be the next first thing we can do in our generation? Let's think about that because we can do it. We did it before, we can do it again. We can build a country that is second to none in Africa because that's what Liberia is supposed to be. The first black country headed, led by black people. An experiment they thought could fail. That experiment needs to continue. We need to champion the Liberian promise. A promised land for Africa. We need to get back to that. We are distracting ourselves too much with too much of politics. We need to get back to the basics because that's what we are good at doing. When we are well focused and we have defined our goals, we will be able to do the first things that other countries had not been able to do. We'll be able to do those things again. And so that is how I want to end the show tonight. Let's get back to who we are as Liberians. We are the people that set history. We are the people that make history. Let's continue to make history, not just in Africa, but in the world.
Thank you. Anybody wants to go next?
Well, thank you for the panelists. Um, I enjoy the conversation. Again, it's always good to bounce back before we train my panelists. And thanks for people that are watching from Liberia, from America. I think you guys need to find our channel. What I'm not saying it because we are something because we have the alternative discussion among everybody else because everybody discussing the same thing in Liberia because we're offering solution here. So we have to, you have to come over here to get the truth. But I'm not that optimistic like you, Brian. I'm not optimistic like you, Dr. Wallow. I'm not in the optimistic aspect of Liberia. You can only do so much to be optimistic and say this child gonna be something. I mean disruption mode. We need a disruption like tomorrow. Liberia need to be disrupted. Something need to bring everything to the heart. Not your war. I don't advocate war. I'm a peaceful person. Somebody need to disrupt the entire, whatever we want to call it, system or not, but it needs to be disrupted. We don't have a system. If you have a government where certain percentages, or what is it, 1%, whenever you half percent of the people they're doing this and everybody else they're just looking away. If the government cannot provide a basic needs for that people we've been saying it from Ellington, George Weahton, this, that. If they can't provide basic needs, it's a time for disruption. This is not time to hang head and say, what I will have is going good, it may be good, it may be better. No. We're in a disruptive phase. We need to disrupt whatever that's going on right now. Whether you're sedition or UPS, whatever, we need a new party. We need somebody to come and disrupt the place and bring economic prowess and bring industrialization and bring middle class and bring hospitalization and bring education and bring, how you call it, everything in our country. We need somebody to disrupt whatever that is going on in our country. Whatever you call it right now, whatever linguistic things you want to assign to it, it's not working. It would never work. It will be the same people. It will be the Evan Melvin Snow. It will be the Joseph Walker. It will be the Ellen Joseph people kids. It will be all throwing the regular kids away, arresting them for drug activities when the security, national security could have stopped the people that are importing the drugs in the first place. So no, this is not time to quiet down. This is not time to go to the books and tell you say this subject did not work. So we need a more peaceful approach to it. No, we need a disruptive activity in Liberia. And I pray for that every day. That's what we need in our country. We don't need anything else but a disruption. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Sergeant Montgomery.
Thank you, CEO. It's been a good show. Let me say, love for country is an all hands on deck to demonstrate it. You see, and I'm happy for the fact that CEO brought up the story of Ethiopia. You see, when Ethiopia wanted to build a dam, the rest of the world, the World Bank refused them money. Everywhere they went to, refused them. They went back to their own people. They went back, started collect. I remember those days when Sami Doe was saying he wanted to pay America's debt. Everybody started collecting 1 cent, 2 cents here to pay. That's what the Ethiopian did. Today they have the largest dam in Africa. What they did, they went to the villages, collected funds from everywhere. Today, no country can boast of I help Ethiopia. No, it was the grassroots themselves that did it. So upon this day, when it comes to love for country, the records have been proven. His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah has proven it. No, he wasn't the best, but after the last 2 3 years he's been out of office, he's learned his mistake. He's seen where he went wrong, and he's corrected them. And those of us that are supporting him here, we are going to hold his feet to the fire that he will do wrong by the people come 2029. I'm asking my people, if something is going on right, don't just change it because you don't like who's doing it. Go there because you want to see that this man really don't love the country. His Excellency Dr. George Manuel has been the right person and will be the right person for Liberia. I'm counting on all Liberians to go to the pool 2029 to overwhelmingly on the first ballot vote him into office so that he can take our country from this abject poverty that we are suffering. Lastly, for me, CEO, and this is with all humility and seriousness, my friend, my greatest friend, the Bible said one of the greatest love that can be demonstrated is for a friend to lay down his life. That's what 3 days ago my best friend did for me in Jesus Christ. He went to the cross when he need not to do it. He did it for my sake, for me. And so, what I want to ask my fellow Christians here on this panelists and across the globe that are watching, who are you for Jesus to have done that for you? But because of what he saw in you, that he did it for you. So the only thing that we can do to give back, it is our life that we need to give back to him. He said it, the greatest gift a friend can give. So upon all of these days, today being a Resurrection Sunday, I'm a happy man to call Jesus my friend because he has done it for me. So the only thing I can give is to reciprocate it, give my life back. And I'm encouraging everyone to do the same. Thank you, CEO. It's been a good show.
Thank you, Brad.
Uh,
That was powerful. Thank
all
you.
right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful and blessed night. See you next week.